Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. I haven't done a wig tutorial in so long, but you know what? I ordered this wig, so I was like, it is time for me to show y'all how I dye and I bleach my knots. So if you read by the title, I'm going to show you guys how I dye my wig jet black using the hot water method and how I also bleach the knots without actually like getting the black dye on them. So I got this wig from Amazon and it's a 13 by 4 Brazilian body wave wig. It was 150 density and it was 30 inches. And for the price, it was about like $300. I'm going to link everything down below and I'm going to show you guys the company I got it from because I can't even pronounce the name. But the wig did come pre-plucked, but of course I'm going to be plucking it more for a more natural look. And then for the inside of the wig, it comes with 4 combs, 2 on the side, 1 on top, and then 1 on the bottom. So we're going to go right ahead and get started. I'm using the Clairol Pure White 20 Developer, and then I'm also using the BW2 powder. They didn't have like the big bucket because, of course, you know, the girls went ahead and bought everything, but I'm actually using 1 pack, and then I am using the developer. So basically, this is really easy. Just pour all the powder in from 1 pack, and then go ahead and pour the developer in. Make sure you're not pouring too much at a time because you don't want it to be like super, super watery. We want it to be a thick texture because that's what's gonna make sure that it doesn't like seep all the way through and then basically dye like the whole top of the wig blonde. We don't want that. So right now, all I'm doing is going ahead and mixing and then adding more developer in. So I also want to tell you guys that I use 20 developer. I didn't want to use like 30 or 40 or 50 because I don't want it to be too strong because it's going to dye the wig really, really quick. I want to have control of the wig when I'm dyeing it. So I'd rather it dye slower and then be able to wash it out whenever I need to because it's kind of hard to go backwards if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm just going ahead and I'm pouring more developer in until I get that really, really thick texture. So this is what it looks like after I'm done. You can see that it's really, really thick, okay? So that's what's gonna make it really easy. So I basically went ahead and I jumped to the part where I am putting it. I'm putting the mixture all over the wig. This part is really, really easy. I'm just using that brush as you can see, and I'm putting an easy amount and an easy coating, not an easy, an even coating all over the wig and, you know, all over the lace and everything. And of course, like before I did this, I didn't wash the wig. I did not do anything. As you saw, I opened the wig right up and I put it on the wig head. There's no need to cut the lace or pluck or do anything like that. The first thing you want to do is dye the knots. That is the first step, okay? So as you can see, I'm done putting the mixture all over and I'm just looking to make sure none of it like went all the way through to the actual hair. And I wanted to show you guys that I only used a small amount. I really only used 1 pack and I had a decent amount left. So I went ahead and I waited about 15-20 minutes, but of course the time is going to vary depending on how much you want to bleach the knots. But this is what it looked like right after I was done and I rinsed it out. You can tell the knots are way more bleached. It has some type of color on it now. And I haven't plucked it or anything like that. This is what it looks like right after I bleached it. So now, while you're doing that, make sure that you actually put your hot water on. I use like two not pans, but two what is it called? You guys know what I mean. I boiled the water in 2 pots, okay, and then I went ahead and I poured it all in. I literally just use a clear drawer that I had in my closet. So if you don't have a bucket, you can use one of those drawers from like Walmart or anything like that. And I went ahead and I poured the water in. And I'm going to be using the Kiss dye, and it was in JetBlack. They didn't have the other one. I think it's called Adore. I don't even know. I think it's called Adore. That's like the one that all the girls be using. But literally, it does not matter. You just need JetBlack dye. So I went ahead and I used the Kiss and I poured it all in. I only used 1 bottle. So I went ahead and I squeezed it all in there. And then I kind of like filled some with water and like rinsed it out a little bit and then poured more in. And yeah, so once I poured it all in, I went ahead and I mixed it, and make sure you're mixing it really, really, really good so that you know that the dye is everywhere. So this is the part where you have to be really, really careful. I went ahead, I started with the ends, of course, and then I made my way up into the roots. So you're just going to keep going and dipping it in, making sure you're getting every single strand. Okay? So, I mean, this part is easy. You know, dyeing the ends isn't that hard, but what you have to do, since we already bleached the knots, is make sure that when you're dipping it in, you're not getting the frontal wet, because it's just going to dye the bleach knots back to black, and we don't want that. So make sure you're really, really, really careful. All you're doing is dipping it in, getting it all in the water, and then brush it out so that you know that it's getting everywhere and that the hair isn't knotty or anything like that. This was a little harder because this is 30 inches, but you know, if it's shorter hair or shorter wig, it's definitely going to be a lot easier. But it was a little tricky because the wig was so long. So I went ahead and I moved to the other side because it was a little bit more easier and I had more room. So all I'm doing is I'm trying to get as close as possible to the roots, but without getting the frontal wet and without getting the knots wet, because I don't want it. I don't want that part to die. So just get really, really close to the roots, and that's really it, guys. Yeah, as you can see, the hair looks so much better. I love jet black hair. I never, like when I get a wig, I never leave it as that natural brown color. I don't really like it. I want my hair to be jet black. So yeah, that's really it. And then right after this, I went ahead and I washed it with conditioner and with shampoo. And this is what we have. As you can see, the knots are still bleached. It looks really, really, really nice. And it was super easy. The hot water method is so easy, guys. If you don't know how to do it, this is definitely going to be an easy method for you instead of box dyeing. And it just saves time. So now I'm going to move ahead and I'm going to move on to plucking. I know my nail's broken. Let's just ignore that. But what I first do is I like put out a layer of hair in the front right there. I don't like to start right on the edge because I just feel like I'm gonna end up plucking too much. So that's why I part out the edges first, and then I go ahead and I spray the water just with water so that everything is flat and everything is down. And then I just go ahead and I start plucking, but definitely put out those baby hairs first because it's definitely gonna help you. And all I'm going to do is take tweezers, take your favorite tweezers, whatever you use, and go ahead and just start plucking. So what I do is I always make sure to not pluck in one spot. You do not want to pluck in one spot for too long or you're literally going to end up having like a bald spot. So I just go ahead and I just start plucking like crazy. A lot of hair is going to come out, but like don't be nervous or anything. It's okay. So yeah, so all I'm doing is going ahead and I'm just plucking and I'm moving around, not staying in one spot, making sure I'm plucking the back of the hair, not too much of the front because you don't want like your hairline to recede, if you know what I mean. And as you can see in that one little spot, that's how much hair I got. Wasn't too much. And now all I'm going to do is brush back those baby hairs and then I'm going to end up plucking those the same way again. It's really not hard at all. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And this is what it looks like after I did pluck that. So I'm going to show you guys again. And this is what it looks like on the other side. And then that's what it looks like on the other side. So you can definitely see the difference. It looks so much more natural and it looks so much better. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to part out those baby hairs and then I'm going to be plucking, making sure that I'm not plucking on the same spot for too long. So yeah, that's really it, guys. I'm doing the same thing after I'm done plucking the back. I go ahead and I brush out the front, and then I go ahead and I pluck just a little bit of those baby hairs to make it look more of a seamless look. But it's really, really easy. The more you guys practice, the easier it'll get. It's not hard at all, but you just have to keep doing it. And then you'll start to realize how you want your wig, because I know everyone does it differently. Some people don't like to pluck it too much. Some people like to pluck it a lot, but it just depends on your preference. So this is what it looks like after I'm done plucking everything, and it looks really, really, really nice. I love the way it came out. As you can see, it looks really nice, guys. And you can see the difference right there of where I plucked and where I didn't pluck. So yeah, this is what it looks like after I've plucked the whole wig, dyed it, bleached the knots, and it looks really, really nice. It looks so natural. I'm really happy with how it came out. So I hope this was super easy for you guys. I didn't want to make it a long video, but if you have any questions, make sure to comment down below, and I will see you guys in my next video.